Good afternoon and welcome to this meeting of the Standing Committee on Social Development for today, May 24th, 2023. My name is Caitlin Cleveland. I am the MLA for Cam Lake and also the chair of this committee. To start us off, I'd like to give members the opportunity to introduce themselves, and I'll start with a member to my left.
Ron Bonatruce, MLA Techo.
Jane Wayellen Armstrong, MLA for Mopi.
Lisa Semler, MLA for Nuvik Twin Lakes.
Kevin O'Reilly, Frame Lake.
Thank you very much, members. And thank you very much for joining us today. I also, to my left, have Mahalia Yakalaya Newmark, who is our committee advisor. And to my right, I have Amy Lizotte and Taylor Maxwell, who are our committee clerks. So this afternoon, the Standing Committee on Social Development is reviewing Bill 79, an act to amend the Judicature Act. This bill is available on the Legislative Assembly website. Bill 79, an act to amend the Judicature Act, received second reading in the Legislative Assembly on March 29th, 2023, and was referred to the Standing Committee on Social Development for review. I would now like to invite the Honourable R.J. Simpson, Minister of Justice, to deliver any opening remarks on Bill 79. Of course, following the Minister's opening remarks, the committee will proceed with a clause-by-clause review and have the opportunity to ask any questions if they choose. Minister Simpson, I'd like to ask you to start by introducing your staff for the record as well, but would like to start by saying thank you very much for joining us here today. I know that you have a lot going on in the constituency that you serve as MLA, and just want to acknowledge and apologize for what the devastation happening in your part of the world. And it is nice to always have Hayward rights come to Yellowknife, but under also better circumstances. But thank you for joining us here today, and we'll try to be quick.
Thank you very much. I appreciate those words. I want to apologize for my very casual dress, but I figured when in Rome. No, I'm just kidding. I just was not prepared when we evacuated, and I did not quite have everything I wanted to bring back. So, Madam Chair, thank you for inviting me today to present Bill 79, an act to amend the Judicature Act. Today, I am joined by, on my far right, Ian Rennie, Legislative Counsel with the Department of Justice, and Paul McKenna, Legal Counsel with the Department of Justice, and, of course, my Ministerial Special Advisor, Rhona Sherrigan. The purpose of Bill 79 is to bring the Northwest Territories into compliance with the Canadian Free Trade Agreement and make unrelated improvements to the functioning of the Court of Appeal. The Canadian Free Trade Agreement is an intergovernmental agreement between the Canadian provinces and territories, which has replaced the former Agreement on Internal Trade. The Government of the Northwest Territories signed the new agreement in April 2017 and is now obligated to make changes to our legislation, which will ensure trade orders of a presiding body or compliance panel established under the agreement have, once filed, the same force and effect as an order of our Superior Court. This amendment will come into effect retroactively to January 1st, 2019. During engagement with the judiciary, two unrelated additional changes were suggested that could help improve the functioning of the Court of Appeal. The Act will be amended to provide that a Court of Appeal judge who ceases to hold office may still grant judgment on pending matters within a certain time frame. And it will also be amended to provide that if a judge who has sat on a Court of Appeal panel is unable to continue with the case, the other two judges may render judgment on the appeal if it is unanimous. This will reduce the need for cases to be reheard should a presiding judge become unavailable to conclude a case in these circumstances. This concludes my opening remarks, and I would be pleased to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. Committee members, does anybody have any questions for the Minister or the Department at this time? Hearing none, does the committee agree to proceed to a clause-by-clause review of Bill 79, an act to amend the Judicature Act? Agreed. Thank you, thank you, committee. Where possible, I will call clauses in groups. Does committee agree? Committee, we will defer the bill number and title until after consideration of the clauses. Please turn to page 1 of the bill. Clause 1, does committee agree? Clause 2, does committee agree? Clause 3, does committee agree? Clause 4, does committee agree? We will now return to the bill number and title, Bill 79, an act to amend the Judicature Act. Does committee agree? Does the committee agree that Bill 79, an act to amend the Judicature Act, is now ready for consideration in committee of the whole? Emily Semler?
79, an act to amend the Judicature Act be reported to the Assembly as ready for consideration in Committee of the Whole.
The motion is in order to the motion. Question has been called. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion is carried. Bill 79, an act to amend the Judicature Act, will be reported to the Assembly as ready for consideration in Committee of the Whole. Thank you, Minister, and thank you to your staff as well. Members, this concludes the public portion of our meeting. Is there a motion to go in camera? Thank you, Emily Semler, and thank you, Minister. Our thoughts and prayers are with the residents of both Judicature First Nation and Hay River, and we thank you for taking the time to be here today.